I'm joined now by my colleague Inoue Yuki, who is at the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan. Yuki, how is the atmosphere there?
It's almost sundown, and you could still see people paying tribute to the victims. Many years may have passed, but the sense of grief hasn't disappeared. Family members are saying it feels the same way every year. But for some people, thinking about this day brings up a sense of sadness as well as fear. And they are the Muslim Americans. They still remember what happened after the attack when Islamophobia spread through the nation. And some people are saying today a new wave of anti-Muslim sentiment is emerging that feels more threatening. The Center for the Study of Organized Hate in Washington has been monitoring the recent increase in online hate.
So we have an internal hate tracking dashboard where we track a lot of different conversation happening online.
Executive Director Rakib Hamid Naik showed me social media platforms flooded with content that demonizes Muslims. He points to a combination of factors fueling the rise.
This huge surge in Islamophobia in the country mostly coincided with the onset of Israel's genocidal war in Gaza. And then with President Trump coming to office, and you have all these far-right MAGA supporters feeling very empowered to run these harmful and bigoted campaigns online. And then you have these billionaires and tech owners themselves partaking a big role in legitimizing and amplifying anti-Muslim racism. And as a result, what you see is this self-sustaining cycle of hate and this ecosystem that is so powerful in its reach and influence that we are witnessing right now.
And recently, they've seen a huge spike linked to a big political story in the U.S. That's Zohran Mamdani's strong showing in the Democratic primary for mayor in New York City. If he wins the upcoming race, he'll become the first Muslim mayor in the city's history. But influential MAGA voices say his victory would be like another 9/11. Donald Trump Jr. slammed his performance by saying New York City has fallen. And far-right activist Laura Loomer warned there will be another 9/11 in NYC.
I would say it's a very scary time to be a Muslim in the U.S. and there are undeniable parallels to what happened post 9/11.
Todd Green is a scholar of Islamophobia. He also was a fellow at the State Department during the Obama and Trump administrations, where he analyzed anti-Muslim prejudice.
Muslims are what we would call a securitized population, which means that they are looked at primarily through the lens of national security in the political realm. And that's been true all the years since 9/11 in very prominent ways. And a lot of the policies that targeted Muslim populations were in the name of national security. The idea really is that Muslims, by and large, are just de facto national security threats, right? So they must be dealt with accordingly.
The Muslim community has been growing more frightened in the current climate. Many have turned to the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE, for help. It's the largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy group in the U.S. Corey Saylor has spent over 2 decades there. He says he's deeply concerned about troubling events like the arrest of a Tufts University student in March. Federal agents conducted the arrest outside her apartment near Boston. She was later transferred across state lines and detained. He says their hotline has been overwhelmed since President Donald Trump retook office, and they've started distributing in mosques.
Very unfortunate. There was a lot of interest in what are the rights that you have when you're encountering law enforcement. So we did a few webinars, and literally in the past you would get dozens of people. It was thousands, several times. So we made a number of different types of materials because we just can't keep up with the demand.
Saylor says the hostile environment feels like the post 9/11 era, but seems more alarming.
the intensity of the types of cases that we're seeing has changed. The personal nature of it has changed as well. I'm a visible activist. I expect to get hostile phone calls and threats. It's part of my job. Now, unfortunately, what we see is people who simply attended a protest, their workplace will get phone calls. You know, why was this person at a protest? You need to fire them. So it's gone to a very personal targeting of individuals in a way that I've never seen in my career.
Returning to the case of the Tufts University student, when asked about her detention, Secretary of State Marco Rubio stressed that the U.S. can take away visas from international students involved in activism or protests.
So what does this all mean for Muslim Americans as they navigate the current climate?
These waves of Islamophobia has been part of this nation's history. But what we're seeing today that's different is a new post-9/11 generation of young Muslims pushing back. And they're making sure that their voices are being heard.
Thank you, Yuki.